Is the Vancouver housing bubble really about to burst, or is this just another alarm without any fire? Today we'll explore both sides, look at all the facts, and really determine what the heck is going on. It doesn't matter who I talk to, everyone wants to know whether it's a good time to buy, a good time to sell, or a good time to wait. So in this video, we will look at 3 arguments for and against the Vancouver housing market collapsing. And by the end of this video, you will see why no one can really predict this perfectly and why the evidence isn't really as clear as it seems. The sun is all up in my face. I'm 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒, a top producing realtor here in the greater Vancouver area. If you like market update videos just like this, be sure to subscribe. Okay, argument 1. Rising prices are unsustainable. So first we'll look at income versus home prices. Right now, Vancouver's median home prices are 10 to 12 times higher than the median household income. This is far above the historical ratio of only 3 to 4 times median household income. And as home prices continue to outpace what we earn, at some point affordability constraints will become an issue, or maybe even a breaking point. And things don't seem to be slowing down. Home prices continue to increase at a rate that outpaces how much we continue to earn year over year. So second, we have debt levels. At the moment, we have record high debt in Canada, mainly tied to mortgages. With home prices the way they are, buyers are taking out massive loans just to get into the market. And then third, you have interest rate impacts. With interest rates rising, you have higher mortgage payments and you also have a reduced buying power. And this puts buyers in a difficult situation where home prices continue to increase, but because of the rising interest rates, what they can actually afford is decreasing. And you know, rates fluctuate regularly, but as they stay elevated, fewer buyers can actually afford these prices. But before you call the bubble bursting, let's see why prices have stayed relatively high despite all of these factors which typically have a downward pressure on price. So argument number 2, supply and demand keep prices up. So first let's look at the low inventory. If you know the Vancouver housing market, then you know housing supply is a major issue. Vancouver's housing supply has not kept up with population growth. Right now, new builds are slow, approval processes are even longer, land is limited, there's so much red tape, and with rising construction costs, it does not get easier for developers. So if buyer demand keeps increasing with population growth, and there's not enough housing supply to meet that demand, then basic economics tells us that housing prices will continue to go up. Now second, let's look at population growth and immigration. Right now, Vancouver remains a top choice for immigrants who help fuel the housing demand. And right now, Canada's immigration targets are at all-time highs. And looking at the target homes they plan to build, it is nowhere close where it needs to be to match these immigration targets. So that begs the question, where are people going to live? And the third point is investor activity. Investors, both domestic and international, treat Vancouver real estate as a long-term store of value. And for many investors, and I'm not saying all of them, it's less about monthly affordability and more about parking wealth. So yes, you have all these factors driving prices down, you have all these factors driving prices up, but there is another factor at play, and that is psychology. So argument number 3, psychology and market momentum. Okay, the first point is the fear of missing out. And man, isn't this evident in the Vancouver market? Buyers continue to enter the market in droves, fearing prices will keep rising up. This self-fulfilling cycle will continue to prop the housing market way longer than it actually should, or longer than logic or statistics would suggest. Second, you have government intervention. You constantly have the government introducing policies like the foreign buyer tax, cooling off period, rate hikes, all at an aim to control the market, but haven't caused any major crashes. And this is a topic I can rant about for 10 minutes on another video because it is sometimes just ridiculous how much the government tries to meddle in the free market. And despite the government's repeated interventions in the Vancouver housing market, it has continued to bounce back every single time. Which goes perfectly into my third point, which is historic reliance. Vancouver's housing market has seen corrections before, such as 2008 and 2016, but as you can see, it has always rebounded. And you know, there's always a ton of other factors at play. As you've already seen in this video, there are factors that are fighting against each other, but history shows that this market is more resilient than a lot of people think. So with all this information, what can we conclude? So obviously the truth is no one can definitively say whether or not the housing market here in Vancouver is going to crash or not. So will the bubble burst tomorrow or not at all? So as you've seen from this video, the truth is no one can really say whether or not the housing market bubble is going to burst tomorrow or at all. While rising prices, debt, and rates cause concern, strong demand, limited supply, and psychological factors are keeping the market afloat. If you're waiting for the bubble to burst, history shows it's a pretty big gamble. And for now, while there were signs, the resiliency of the market shows that there's no imminent cause or sign of a collapse. This is my opinion. What do you think? Is the Vancouver housing market on borrowed time, or will it keep defying expectations? Let me know in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want to stay up to date with the Vancouver housing market, subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.